It was prompted by recent developments at the fairgrounds, which caused us to re-examine the statutory authority for the Fair Board and for the Board of County Commissioners, and to kind of clearly delineate which board has authority for certain roles. And so this MOU essentially codifies the relationship that has already existed between the two boards, with a few notable exceptions. Namely, the MOU does call out the Fair Board's right to manage, hire, and supervise employees at the fairgrounds. That's one important component. And then there are other portions of the MOU that go through the services that the county would continue to offer the fairgrounds, including legal advice, IT, risk management, and insurance, and those sorts of things. So the goal, again, is to kind of codify the relationship between the two boards and hopefully ensure the smooth operation of the fairgrounds, and what everybody wants to see continue out there. So happy to take any questions on it if you guys have those for me.
Can I just clarify for the record one thing? After speaking with Fair Board, we removed like specific sheriff versus admin IT, but they still would have the ability to use the IT with that the sheriff is using. It's just we don't have a sheriff IT and admin IT. We just have IT, because that was one of the concerns that they had. And my understanding was we were just specifically not naming who IT would be, because that could change. And so we were just writing an MOU.
I think in the negotiation component of this, that I think that this board had voiced some concern with calling out law enforcement IT in that MOU. And so the change was made to just to omit the reference to that and say the provision of IT. And I think that was something that this board asked for. So that's in the final version. Again, the way this is drafted is that it has to be approved by both boards, and they haven't done that yet. I thought this board could lead and get this side of the agreement struck. And then it'll be up to the Fair Board at a future meeting to decide if they want to accept the version that you guys hopefully approve today.
And this is in an effort to help them move forward, because they are autonomous in a lot of ways. And they get to select a lot more than they have been allowed to.
That's right.
At this time.
I don't want to get too far into the weeds for those of you who probably haven't been following along, but the Fair Board is kind of a unique creature in Idaho law. It's not the typical advisory board that's entirely dependent on this board for its existence, but it is kind of a hybrid. It has a foot in both camps. Like, it's not an independent taxing district, but it has some authority to enter into contracts to manage employees that would typically be associated with an independent taxing district. So we're just trying to iron iron those issues out. And the MOU is the first step in making that happen. And I also want to say, while I'm up here, Nancy Twynham is our comptroller, and she has also been really instrumental in this process. She, for example, that you'll see on the back of the MOU, there's an incorporation by reference to the Bonner County claims policy. And we want to kind of let the Fair Board adopt that, so we have a uniform financial reporting mechanisms. And Nancy was the one to suggest that, and she's also been really active with the Fair Board, helping them get their house in order. And so I want to give her a shameless plug while I'm up here.
Well, thank you, Nancy, for your work, because that's been really helpful to them, and they've voiced their appreciation for all you've been doing.
And this is something that has to be done in order for the Fair Board to get past everything that's happened over the last 6 months and get compliant with state.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it's something that just needs to get done so that process can continue.
Mr. Chairman, it's also appropriate to recognize Cindy Binkard's effort to help clean up the job descriptions, because literally when we're talking about the fair, it's lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, cotton candy, all sorts of stuff, and lots of fertilizer, as it should be. And Cindy's help and assistance in that is going to smooth that process. This MOU is an important step that needs to be undertaken.
I move that we approve the MOU. Well, I don't have to say these.
I would second the motion.
All right, got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Aye.
Got Ken McDonald here.